how long is it? I can't remember how long it was. But how long is it after that you have a property that you can count the income that you get from it towards when you want to buy the next one, and how much of it can you count?
So you count 75% of what the rent is. That's what the bank recognizes. Now, as far as being able to use that income, it depends on the lender and how they can structure it, but it's usually they will want to see at least 1 year of tax return, or they might be able to just see the current lease and see that you've gotten 3 payments or whatever. And then they might be able to use part of that. Now, from the conversation that we had with a previous lender, remember, I don't know if you were on that call, but there was a loan officer who came here. I think it was Josh Hanley, but he basically shared how the more properties that you have, the more lenient they can be when they get you some kind of loan. In the beginning, if it's your first investment property, they might ask for tax returns, but there's been times where I bought a property and the next day I bought another property, but they were able to use the income from the property that I bought the day before to be able to not affect my DTI, but it's because I have more of a portfolio. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Ruby asked, what if you're house hacking and have multiple leases? So house hacking is a super unique situation with that because of the fact that unless you're turning it completely into a business, some banks will not recognize the extra income that you're bringing in because it is your personal property, like you're an owner occupant. Where I leverage that is when I buy my next house hack, I would just do a lease with all of the tenants on there, including the tenant that I'm going to put in the master bedroom, let's say, if I'm renting by the rooms, and then it becomes a higher lease, a higher rent. And then from that perspective, it will make me a little bit more, like when the bank uses that 75%, it's even higher. So it may not affect my DTI as much, if any. So keep that in mind. Yeah. And then more questions are coming in. In short-term and long-term rentals, different when it applies to that situation? Yes, you will have to. It's easier if it's a long-term rental to convince the bank to use that income that's coming in from because you actually have an actual lease. With short-term rentals, because there is no lease, it's just a short-term thing. At that point, you will have to basically the lender will let you know if they do want to see 1 year of tax return or if you have more of a history, but that will be up to the lender.